I'd like to welcome everyone back to the final episode 12 of When Harry Met Sally. How are you, love?
I'm good. How are you?
Hasn't it just been the most extraordinary time?
It's been amazing. I can't believe, we talked about it for so long and finally we're here at the last episode and we've done
smashed it, haven't we? We have absolutely smashed it.
We're very modest about it, but yeah.
It has been fantastic and I'm so excited about today, the
too.
Final episode, and we've got some fabulous students here with us today from Collart, and I am going to have a go at saying all of your names. So if I get them wrong, I am sorry, but I've been rehearsing. So what do you reckon? Should we get going?
Stuck into it.
Should we get stuck into it? Okay, I'd like to welcome from Collart's photography students Matilda Baumann, Lisa Mary Abdulnour and Gemma Raso. Hi. How did I go with the names?
Amazing.
Pretty good.
Fantastic, fantastic. It's not my strength. My face is the strength, but we get there anyway. So, welcome. Harry and I are so excited to have you here.
We're so excited, especially in, the last episode of our season 1.
It's a perfect way to round out, isn't it?
Totally. We just, we really wanted to hear from you guys who are, at the forefront of what's happening in photography at the moment. You're learning, what's happening right now in this kind of modern age, and we're really excited to hear your thoughts.
So Matilda, why don't we start with you, because you're opposite me and
worries.
I'm staring straight at you. I think that's the easiest.
Sure thing.
So to Matilda, now why photography? Why did you decide to study photography?
Oh, that's an excellent question, isn't it? Well, I've
so.
always loved photography. Ever since I was very little. It's also been a very big thing in my family. My grandpa does photography. My dad does photography. So it just became sort of a thing that, I had to do as well.
Did they do it as hobbies or are they working?
Hobbies, yeah. So it was like a hobby for me, and it was just, I've tried a billion different creative pursuits, and this was the one that just felt good, It was the one that stuck with me, and so I figured why not pursue this a bit more formally in, tertiary education, and now I'm here.
So you're a mature age student?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Yes, I graduated from high school, 3 years ago now. Which
little bit kind of like me.
Yes, yeah. Yes, exactly.
Not. Right, okay, fantastic. And what is it that you're interested in? What sort of photography?
I'm particularly interested in portrait photography. Anything involving people, I think that extra layer of being able to connect with your subject so deeply through like conversation and stuff while you're shooting and stuff like that is just really like invaluable and just brings so much depth to whatever you're, photographing. And so I think, any sort of portraiture is my jam,
Love that.
Yeah, I love that too.
Lisa, how about you?
Hi.
Can you tell us
Hey.
Can you tell us a little bit about why you're here, why you're into photography?
Like Matilda, I'm a mature age student. We'll drop the mature part. And, I guess I did the thing that everyone else wanted us to do when I was growing up. I went, got a job with work, did a lot of government jobs from child protection to executive assistant, and there's always something that was within me that was just creative and wanting to pop out and just, so it was either now or never. I always find that I'd be in these jobs and I'll get to a certain point where I'm like, what are we doing, Lise? Like, how you have those, please tell me we all have conversations with ourselves.
Naturally.
So it was basically, all right, let's do it. And Collart's was just everywhere advertising. It was just calling my name. So I'm like, let's just go and see where this takes us. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so you're working sort of on the side as well. You're still working and studying at the same time.
So there was an opportunity for me to take a redundancy. So I did.
Yeah.
So I can pursue myself getting in the creative industry, whether it be an EA to a creative, whether it be a studio assistant, whatever it is, I just want to shift gears.
Yeah.
And there was an opportunity and I could not say no. So shout out to my old work that was very supportive.
Amazing.
So I'm on that journey right now. So
That's
good
great.
for you.
Yeah, good for you for going for it.
I want to go back to work, let's be honest, but it's thank you.
At the wish of plugging my book, Leap Into Your Creative Life.
Here we go again.
There we go again. But I think that is fantastic.
I'll open it for your book.
Yeah. It's what it's all about. Life's short, and you take those opportunities, and at whatever age, whatever stage you are, and you just have to take the leap. Gem, what about about you?
Hey, first off, thanks so much for having me here. I'm so excited about it. But yeah, so I'm kind of in between, I feel like, Lisa and Matilda. I started in a journalism course, and I always felt called to pick up the camera, like when you're traveling, when you're doing things like that. I always gravitated toward a camera, but I thought I had to study something that would quote unquote get me a job. That's what everyone was telling me.
Was that you or your parents? Sorry if they're listening.
So my parents are very supportive, but it was kind of everyone. It was
society
family,
in a way,
isn't it?
society.
Totally.
It was me. Like, it was coming from everywhere. And then I realised that I was hanging out within this journalism course for the one photography class. And I was like, am I doing a whole course for one class? And if that's the case, let's just go and study what that one class was
Look
about.
at you. You listen to yourself. Well done.
Thank you. So that felt pretty massive when I shifted, but it was definitely the right decision. And it felt really different coming to class every day to study photography versus to study journalism.
Yeah, amazing.
But something that you will never, you can't ever, I don't ever think you can look backwards. So what you did learn in those journalism classes, you'll be bringing into your photography.
100%.
So is it photojournalism that is your thing, interestingly, or not?
It's actually not.
Way.
No. I prefer more of like an arts practice. I prefer writing. I like to combine still writing with my photography, but more portraiture, looking at experiences of disabled peoples, and figuring out how to combine a journalistic mentality in my sessions with the people. So trying to ask them questions, leaving everything very open, taking notes, and then seeing what that can produce in the photo stage.
I feel like I've seen a bit of your work, and I would maybe put it into the new expanded documentary category. Like, I think you're definitely documenting, you know, yourself and your community and people, and just in a very artistic, beautiful way.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you.
Just jotting that down for your bio.
A tick from the photo collective. Plugging that now.
I'd love to ask you guys, you know, in this kind of day and age where we all have an iPhone in our pockets and you can get hold of a really, you know, cheap camera and you can go out and learn on YouTube tutorials. What's the value of studying? Why invest all this kind of time and money into doing a course and studying photography in, you know, the 21st century?
Matilda, why don't you kick off with that?
Of course, absolutely. I think probably the most valuable, you know, thing I found by studying not studying professionally, studying photography, is just the connections that I've made with the people here. Obviously, I've made some fantastic friends, but also just with my, you know, teachers and my tutors and stuff like that, and all these other creatives, even people who aren't like in my course. Like, I've just I look back, like, you know, myself a year ago, and I can't even imagine, like, you know, reaching this point of like, oh my gosh, I've just learnt so much. And I feel like you don't get that same level of connection, like direct connection, one-on-one connection with people when you're learning online and you're following YouTube tutorials and stuff. There's definitely value in, like, you know, teaching yourself, but I think this was the way to go for me personally.
You're absolutely right. And we've talked a lot over the series about how important networking is and collaboration. I mean, Harry and I collaborating, we collaborate in our own businesses, and the whole industry is about collaboration. One of the questions I wanted to ask, and maybe Lisa, you can answer this, is over years of experience of working with students, and you see them coming into a course and they're really creative, and once they start a course, they then start learning a lot about lighting and cameras. And have any of you, I'll start with Lise, have any of you, or have you found that your creativity, as you started to learn, perhaps waned because you were so interested in, gosh, I've got to get the camera right and the lighting right? How did that go for you?
Oh my God. Okay.
It's a big thing, isn't it?
Camera fundamentals is one of the first subjects you sort of study here. And I had to learn. So before this, I was like a photographer, but I was shooting on aperture mode and auto. Yeah.
Yes.
And then they teach
Like
you
most.
manual, like most. Yeah. And then
Did you cry?
Oh, manual. I was. at this one point, we're doing for a particular project, time of day, and found my spot where I want to take photos of at different times of the day, and I actually recorded myself getting frustrated, trying to get the ISO right, the aperture, and
then you forget your creativity.
Oh, 100%. And I find that now I sort of coach myself going, we're learning this new skill, your creativity will come back, because I did feel like I was like, is the composition okay? Are we doing this? Is the lighting right? Do we need to... You start overthinking what you're trying to take photos of and what you're trying to capture. I did find that...
I think that actually happens throughout your whole career as well. Like
when you're learning things.
And also when you're working, when you do something you love as a career, you end up working a lot of jobs for work, to pay the bill, to put food in the fridge.
Yeah.
And so I think you've got to really find that balance with that work and technical side and the creativity side.
Absolutely. And on that note, Gem, you were nodding your head then. Obviously it had happened to you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I also feel like, though, it was something that made me realise that I was in the right place, because even though I would be focusing on this skill, in the background I would have these ideas of what I wanted to be able to do with the skill, and they were way, way harder than what I had the talent for at that moment. But I think that's where our lecturers are all like incredibly supportive and incredibly encouraging for us to push ourselves and fail. So they would be like, yeah, go on, try that, knowing that it wouldn't work. And then the lessons that you learned when it wouldn't work would excite me again, excite my creativity again. And I would sort of pivot and come up with new ideas that were more within the ballpark of what I could do at that moment.
You said a good point about failure, because I think when you come in, you're like, I just want to get it. I just want to get it right. What do you mean? Like, I think that's massive. Like, sorry, that was just a big light bulb moment for me there.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
I relate to that as well. Like, I've just done a project recently where I had such high standards for myself for this project. And I'm a perfectionist with literally everything.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to do well by myself for this project. And my teacher just was like, and I told my teacher, I just want to make sure I meet my standards. And he was like, no, don't worry about that. Just do it badly this time. And then, next year, do it better. And then the next year after that, improve on it.
And to learn those lessons so early on in your career as students is hugely important, because as you go through your career, it is a constant learning process. And you do get to the point where, I think all of us are perfectionists.
Yeah.
And everything we want it to be perfect when it goes out. But then you kind of realise that, well, actually, it's the first time it occurred to me was the very first website I built back in the very early 2000s. And I went, right, well, I've done that, and then I don't have to do another one ever. And, and then after about 5 or 6 years, I thought, shit, that's really old. And now I change it every 2 years, But now when I change it, it is, it's okay. And I put it out, and then I get a few comments, and I change it again, and I change it again. And it's like photographers that are wanting to come and show folios. It's like, I've got a new shoot to do. And it's, well, you're always going to have a new shoot. If you're ready to have somebody look at what you're wanting to do, get on with it now. And it's like Harry and I with this podcast. We talked about it, and we said, let's just do it. And all of you this morning said, where's it going to be released? And you've got to stay tuned for that, because we want to get it fantastic first, and then off it goes. So it's a lesson, and sometimes being a perfectionist is really hard. Lisa mentioned overthinking. Everybody overthinks, right? And it's something that you learn, I think, as you get older and you've been around a lot more, that overthinking can actually end up, maybe making you not really happy, right? So just get out there, talk to people, get it going,
I also feel like sometimes the differences and your style can evolve from the failures, because you totally stuff something up and then you're like, hang on, that's me.
Cool.
That's cool,
exactly.
and that's me.
And then somebody says, how did you do that? And you go, I don't fucking
can you recreate this exactly? Oh, sure, totally. Give me like 5 to 10 business days.
Oh, amazing. I'd love to know... you guys are sort of at the forefront. You're all, Gemma, you've just left, and you guys are kind of on the verge of kind of getting through your degrees. what's it like kind of having left Collart's and suddenly being in the industry as, you know, like the new kind of blood in the industry, I guess? Like, how does it feel? What do you think the photography industry looks like at the moment?
Yeah, it's definitely wild, especially because of how fast-paced Collart's, the Collart's degree is, doing it all in the 2 years. I've found that taking some time, not going straight into the industry in the sense of like commercially and that sort of thing, stepping back, having a breather has been the best thing for me, and exploring again sort of what I want to be shooting, expanding on series, because obviously, as you guys know, you do so many projects in such a short time, and you sort of start all of these projects and you don't work on them for more than 12 weeks. So it's been really interesting revisiting them and seeing how I can kind of start them again, turn them into longer term projects. So I feel like at the moment my focus has been on longer term projects and not rushing things. And yeah, it is very daunting. It's also very difficult sort of when to figure out when you start charging for different things based on your skill, how confident you are. Yeah, so it's another
Gemma, look
world
at
to
me.
navigate.
Look at me. You never do anything for free if a client asks you.
Yeah.
Okay, unless everybody's getting something out of it, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's a project that nobody's getting paid for.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a podcast.
Like,
So none of us are getting anything out of it except for having a really great time and letting people share our stories. You know, then those things are good. But, you know, money is going to it's always an issue for people, right?
especially for creatives
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. For some reason,
Give me a
we
call.
all feel that, you know, we, you know, shouldn't be charging our worth, you know, and that's not just people that are just leaving college and uni like you guys. It's people in the industry. They, for some reason, as a creative, it's like it's not work.
Do you know what I
You
reckon?
know?
I think back in the old days, when photographers were really revered, because photographers were photographers. They worked in dark rooms, they got degrees, and they were shooting fashion, they were doing all sorts of stuff, and all of their friends and people that weren't photographers were going, wow, you're photographers. Now, everybody
Everyone's-
is a
yeah.
photographer. And as Harry talked about, you know, everyone's shooting on iPhones, there's been huge campaigns shot on iPhones, and so I think it's kind of, some people feel like it's watered down their ability to be able to charge what they should, right? But you've always got to remember, you are, what is your point of difference? You do have something that they want. They have come to you, and your time is valuable. Except when you're doing podcasts. So it's an ongoing learning thing, and which leads me on to because we're talking about money, and I very much come from the commercial side of things, and Harry is from more the art side thing. That's why it works so well together as a team.
Collaboration's perfect.
And that's really important when you are collaborating with someone that, apart from the fact we both talk a lot, you know, we do have similar but, you know, opposing skill sets as well. I've talked so much I've actually forgotten what the question is.
Something about...
The question is, are you working in a job to make money alongside your photography, Lisa?
At the moment, no.
Yeah, because
but I was initially. So I did start full time. I was so excited to start Collart. So I started full time. So I was at full time work and full time study. Don't ask me. No, man. No.
How did you manage that?
I didn't.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. That makes sense.
No, they got a really great support system here as well that helped me through it. And then from then, when I did my second try, heart palpitations, I'm like, all right, let's dial it back. What's the rush?
Yeah,
We love these.
totally.
We love the subjects. We love the, you know, and as Gemma said before, these projects, you get like, I don't know about you guys. I've seen your work and stuff. You just get so invested.
Yep.
And yeah. In terms of that, I am looking if anyone wants me to hire me. Part-time work.
Love it.
I do
Shout
want
out,
part-time,
shout out.
part-time work or something, like in the sense of like, just so I have this space for my creativity and stuff. I do want a whole shift in life and stuff.
But do you know, sometimes too, when you are at that point in your life, part-time work doesn't have to be around photography, right? You
Of
can
course, yeah.
have a part-time work working in a bar, or, you know, being an EA to someone 2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be around photography. And it's ideal if it can be, but don't ever forget that. You know, your photography can be there and making money can be there for a while, and we talk a lot about time management in the last sort of 12 episodes or 11 episodes. So what about you, Matilda? How are you sort of affording to be at school? Are you studying and working, or?
Yeah, so I'm a full-time student and I work part-time just at a bottle-o, just normal retail. I've managed to very, very luckily kind of have a schedule that's pretty typical of the 5 days school/work and then 2 days off, pretty typical week. But I definitely, thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah,
how'd you do that?
Yeah, no, I don't know, magic, I guess. But yeah, I think that there's definitely even with that part-time job, I definitely have just even obviously none of it is necessarily a necessity, but photography is just such an expensive thing to do just on its own, or it can be, and so I definitely have noticed damn, I really need to properly work if I want to be able to keep myself afloat a bit and keep this going, and invest in my equipment and all that sort of stuff. It's there's ways to make it cheap, and I've figured them out definitely, but we
don't say cheap, we say affordable.
Affordable, budget friendly. You're so right. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm lucky in the sense that I've got a pretty good work school life balance, but it is definitely something that I'm kind of, once I graduate, I'm definitely worried about being left in the deep end there a little bit in that regard. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, that's a way off.
Exactly.
And so Harry and I were having a chat before you all came in, and we were wanting to know if you've got any questions for us, or each other even. Gem.
Yes.
And I hope we can answer them.
Off the back of what we were talking about before with money and everything, I was wondering how you guys cope with feelings of imposter syndrome, especially when you were starting and you were young in the industry.
So I have imposter syndrome all the time. When I
don't even know what you're doing here. No,
I don't know what I'm doing here.
I think it's healthy though.
Yeah. I mean, I've been shooting now for 17 years or something like that. And, when I first started, I obviously felt completely out of my depth. And there's certain things now that, if I've got to go and shoot some stuff, then I'm pretty fine with it. But, a few years in 2022, I started teaching my first tertiary bachelor class, and I had massive imposter syndrome standing up in front of the class for the first time, thinking, what on earth can I teach these guys? You just kind of, and then now I'm in my third year there, and I'm I've pretty much got it. Sometimes I still feel a bit shaky on some lessons, but I pretty much have it. With Photo Collective, I've got huge imposter syndrome there. I feel like I love that organisation, and I love running it, and I love working with it. But for years, I was who am I to judge other people's work, And I still have that. And that's the balance that Tom and I always talk about, having to kind of put that aside a little bit to kind of keep creating what we're doing. And I think it kind of keeps us humble, because we never ever thought we'd be in a position where we're judging other people's work. And to be in a position, we take it very, very seriously, and it keeps us very humble. So there's a long-winded way of saying I'm constly feel like I need to be, working hard to be at the position I'm at, I guess.
It's oddly enough calming to hear.
It will be there forever, Gemma. I'm calm about that. Great.
Good for you. Imposter syndrome, I work with people every day that come and ask me that question. And I have to say I've been around a really long time. I've been a photographer, I've been an educator, I've worked with people, I've been an agent for photographers, I've done just a huge variety of things over a really long time. So I have got to a point where I feel like I am an expert on what it is that I do because of the learnings that I still have every day. But I moved many years ago, not just into photography, I moved into working in design and art direction and copywriting and multimedia. And so my business is quite diversified now. And I have to say, I feel sometimes within the design and the advertising realm a little bit, even though I know what I'm doing and I think that I'm really good, well, I know that I'm really good at doing things and placing people, there is a little bit of I am a bit overwhelmed sometimes with the calibre of people that I'm working with to help them pull together things. So I don't know that it's so much imposter, it's just like, oh, fuck, I'm actually here and they're listening to me.
Yeah. Actually, there's a few people recently that have asked me to look at their portfolios and their work and stuff. And I think I'm getting a little bit more to that stage where I'm not terrified anymore, but I'm just excited that, wow, this person wants my opinion.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
really exciting, actually.
And that's, as you come through your careers, you get to a point where people are ringing you because it's you, and you actually just have to let that sit and settle on you and go, okay, that's what I'm here for. It's not like you're knocking down the doors and you're forcing somebody into something that you're not really good at. So it is a real thing. Imposter syndrome also comes, I think, a lot with the overthinking, which we talked a little bit about before, Lisa. You have to believe in yourself. You have to surround yourself with really good, supportive people, and not just people that are going to tell you you're fantastic. People like me that'll go, you're a little bit fantastic, but God, you've got so much to learn. And people like Harry. And the reason this podcast sort of came about was because we were sitting down having a coffee and going, shit, we know so many people that are starting out, people that are art-based, people that are commercial-based, people that are running festivals. We should be talking to all of these people because we all have experienced it at some point. But the more you talk, the more you understand who you are as a person, and not just as a photographer, but as a person in life, and you become
100%.
settled with your
Which leads
family.
to what you were saying at the beginning, Matilda, about connecting. You know, photography is not just about shooting; it's about
100%,
connecting,
100%.
and it's all of that kind of other stuff.
And we're never just buying your work, right? When we're buying a photographer to work with, or when we're, purchasing images for a campaign and someone, we're never just looking at your work, we're meeting you. And we're going, wow, yeah, we could really work with this person. This is fantastic. Oh, I don't know if I can sit in a car with you for 6 weeks driving up and down there. You're going to drive me mental. So, I think that is such a huge part of it as well. So it's a bit like that old adage, you find your tribe and you find your people, and that's 100%. Really important. Okay, so we've probably got time for one question each. So that was Gemma's. Lise, have you got a question for us?
You sort of tapped onto it about using your time and efforts. But what I really want to know from both of you is that what was your drive into photography? What was your first going? You wake up, we've all heard each other's. What's your guys?
Oh, look, I picked up my first camera when I was 6 years old, so I've always had photography in my life. I travelled around a lot when I was a kid. My parents moved countries, and so I was always on the
posh accent.
Move. Don't judge a book by its cover. I always had a camera in my hand, and then sort of similar to what you were saying, Matilda, I just kind of ended up in England. I'd been there for about 5 or 6 years, having a fabulous time, and just thought I want to do something a little bit more, I want to do something that's not just partying and travelling. I just thought, what do I want to do? I don't really know. And then I was like, well, I've always got a camera in my hand. So, there was a college in the nearest city to me, and I was just like, well, maybe I'll just go and have a look. They had an open day, and that was kind of it. And then I was it's like it had always been there, but I didn't quite realise it until I was ready to take it a bit more seriously, I guess.
Totally.
Mine was a little bit crazier than that. I was really naughty at a private girls' school, and some may say I was expelled, but I was actually asked to leave. I was actually asked to leave, and I ended up at another school.
Damn, what
I
did you do?
Oh, I'll tell you off air.
Gotcha.
And I ended up at another school that had just built this photographic darkroom, and the art teacher said, who wants to do photography? And I was the only one that wanted to do it, because I thought, this could be cool, get me out of class. And I actually was really good at it. the end of it, he said to me, so you're going to go and do a degree in photography? And I went, what? Can you do that? Like, I had no idea. So he was amazing, and he took me to the RMIT Open Day. And I went there and I just went home to mum and dad and I said, I know what I'm going to do. Like, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. And from that day on, so I was probably 17, I just was hell-bent on being in photography at one way or the other, and obsessed. And I became a commercial photographer, but after many years of, a bit like Harry, travelling in London and Italy and all sorts of things, coming back I had this epiphany that it wasn't taking pictures of other people's ideas that what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be immersed in it. So then I've spent the last 25 years building a career about helping other people be the best they can be. So I'm still very immersed in photography. So it's quite a different story, but not too dissimilar. Just wanting to do it and get going with it.
Do you have a question?
I do have a quick one, yeah. I touched on it a little bit before. It's an ever-present issue for most creatives, managing the work-life balance, especially when typically such a big part of creative work requires involving the personal. So I was wondering, how do you, as professionals in the creative industry, navigate the work-life balance? If you do it
This is a
all.
whole episode.
I'm going to start on that one. What, do you want to think about it? I am an extraordinary time manager. Right? I am the queen of time management because I do so many things, and not only do I have a career, I have a 95-year-old dad, I'm a mum, I do pottery classes, I have a partner and a really needy dog, and I have lots of friends, and I go to exhibitions and I judge awards, and so I do so many. People sort of say, how do you do so much stuff? You know, I love to swim in the mornings before work. I have a huge calendar. And I have a diary that goes everywhere with me. I even
Lots of highlighters.
And lots of highlighters. Everyone laughs at my highlighters, but I've even got one here. But it's time management. I'm really good at it. And what I do at the beginning of every week, I put all my fun things in first. Like I've got to do my sport. I'm going out on Thursday night for drinks. I'm going to do the podcast, Harry, all that Friday, so I'm not going to do that. And I work around it and I look at it every week. I plan my meals. I know that sounds really weird, but I shop once a week and I plan my meals. And if something changes, well, that's okay. So time management is the absolute 1,000% key to be able to doing everything that you want to, and keeping a healthy mind and body. Really important. I eat really well and I exercise and I sleep. I might even have a quick half an hour snooze in the afternoon if I have to go to somewhere that night. So that's how I do it.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a constant battle. So I guess the three arms to my business are I run Photo Collective, and then I teach at Photography Studies College, and then I also have a freelance business. So I then have a child and a husband, and I've got parents, and I've got a brother who's got a beautiful little boy. So there's a lot going on, and I want to be a part of all of that. And I learned quite a few years ago when my son was about 5 that I really had to compartmentalize all the different areas. So when I'm at PSC and teaching, I'm at PSC and teaching. I don't answer emails from Photo Collective. I don't answer emails from Harriet Clare Photography.
Or Sally Brownbill.
Or Sally Brownbill. And then I get text messages going, did you get my email 4 minutes ago?
I just turn up because my pottery class is over the road from PSC, so I'll just turn up covered in clay and she'll go, I'm actually really busy.
And I realise, like, when I pick up my son, I pick him up from school and we come back home and we have, our time together. And if I need to finish work, then I do an hour in the evening after he's gone to bed or whatever it is. So I've just got to really, I can't be writing emails and trying to look after him at the same time. So it's just about compartmentalising, really.
There we go. I think, well, bloody great questions. Thank you so much for that.
I just want to quickly, very short fire, final question. I know we're a bit over time for this one, but
that's
we
all right.
do
It's
have
our
3
last
guests. But what we've been asking everybody on the podcast each week by week is why do you do it? Like a simple question of why do you do it? So I would love to just hear first thing that comes into mind, or why is it photography? Why do you do it?
Okay, Lise, go.
Okay. Because it's within me. It's like something that's
beautiful.
it's within me. It's something I just couldn't even think of not doing.
We love that answer.
Follow Broke Stills at brokestills.com.
Gem?
Not sure how to follow from
Yeah.
that.
I feel sorry for you.
It's within me as well.
I think I do it for representation. I do it because I've seen a lot of other people's work and not seen my experiences within it. So I do it to be able to give other people the representation that they need.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Beautiful. And Matilda?
I guess I have to say that it's very selfishly maybe it's for me. It's
Yes.
it's to tell my story, and because I feel like particularly with all of the creative pursuits that I've tried over the years, like I said, none of them clicked because it never felt like I could convey my own narrative. But with photography, I feel like I can, and so that's why I do it.
Beautiful.
Oh my God,
Beautiful.
I love you guys.
Yes.
You are the future of photography.
Do you know what? In our next series, which we're going to be doing, we'd love to get you back and see, a year later maybe what have they been doing. We better do that. Write that down, Harry.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd just like to sign off with you three and say Matilda Baumann, Lisa Mary Abdulnour and Gemma Raso. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank
It's
you
a
so much.
joy,
Seriously,
and we
such an
will
amazing
check in on
opportunity.
you in the next 12 months. And Harry, take it away.
Oh, well, I just want to
Oh, no,
also.
this is so
I
sad.
know it is.
It's our last
It's
episode.
all. It's been such a journey with you, Sal.
I know. I can't wait for the next series.
I know. There will be another one. We just had way too much fun on this one to not do another one.
Absolutely.
So, I think, whether people listen or have listened or not, we'll be doing it anyway.
We will.
I guess I just want to do some thank yous
Yes,
as it's the
we
last
must.
episode. So
There's so many to thank.
Huge thank you to Collart. They've really helped us out with letting us record in their podcast suites over this whole series. Shaquille, thank you so much for all the audio work. You guys are amazing.
Shaquille's coming on the road with us.
Shaquille is our favourite, and he's coming. He's with us now.
Yeah. He's
Ricky,
nodding.
Gabby, and Steve from Collart, thank you so much for all
Thank you,
your
guys.
support, and thanks for helping us get this off the ground. Martin for the amazing intro music.
Yeah, we love that. Gets us in the mood, doesn't it?
It sure does. Sally, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do you know what I love about it, Harry, is that it just spawned from a coffee in Burwood Road, Hawthorne, where we sat down one day and just went, come on, what are we doing? Let's get out there and start doing, why don't we do a podcast? Yeah. How do we do it? I don't know.
I don't know. Let's just get our friends
Let's just
in.
get it.
And I'll just say, I just want to say thank you to all the people we've had on the podcast. Aisha and Sean, Rowena, Andrew, Jesse, sorry, I can't read Sally's handwriting and I got confused. Jesse, Isimu, Sam, Ricky, Darian, Vanessa, Danny, and Lisa, Gemma, and Matilda.
I know. It's been extraordinary. It's just been like having friends,
It's so amazing.
And,
I got
just sitting down and
goosebumps.
chatting and bouncing out of bed each day to do this. It's been extraordinary.
And
so
thank you to you, listener, for listening in. And
Yes,
we
and
hope
share.
you've enjoyed it. We'd love to hear from you if you enjoyed the podcast, if you didn't enjoy it, who we could have on for the next one.
yes, or if you're out there and you'd love to come in and talk to us
Believe
sometime
it or
about
not,
whatever.
we love a chat. So just get in contact.
Do we? All right. Thanks so much, Harry.
Thanks,
it's been
Sally.
a blast.
All right.
And
See
I'm
you
going to
next
sign
season.
off and go goodbye from When Harry Met Sally.
Bye.
Bye.